Welcome back to the third mission of my Long War Let's Play campaign. We have our first UFO crash. If you'll remember from the first couple of videos, we actually shot down this UFO pretty much immediately after, or I guess a few days after, the very first mission. Then had a moderate alien abduction in an urban block in mission 2 that we did before doing this. The hope at this point is that we have a successful sweeping of the crash site and are able to salvage enough resources to sell and then fund the construction of our satellite uplink so that we can build it by the end of the month to get both of these two satellites that we have in construction launched over Africa. So let's see how that goes. I've already got the squad kitted out. We're bringing 5 rookies and 1 specialist who's been promoted to a scout, and I've done this for a very particular reason, which is that the specialist will be bringing along a shotgun to kill the outsider. So let's hope this goes well. I have to say, at this early point in the game, crashed UFOs can actually pose some problems. In the mid to late game, they're often the very easiest missions that you do.
The Egyptian border. It looks like the aliens went down in a sparsely populated area. If there are civilians in the area, I hope they stay clear.
Thank you, Bradford. And the reason for this is that crashed UFO sites tend to be very open, right? That you're fighting outside. In this case, we're fighting in a swamp. And on this kind of map, in the early game, the biggest danger, aside from the outsider, who hopefully we are well prepared to deal with, are pods of drones. And this is because on a map like this, it's very difficult to hit drones using your guns because your rookies have very poor aim. But also you can't easily grenade them because they're flying. On an urban block type map, you can move inside, the drones come inside, and then they can't get a huge amount of elevation because they're indoors. But that's simply not something we can take for granted on a mission like this. Okay. I just wanted to make sure all of my squad was here. Sometimes I get a bug where my troops spawn off the edge of the map, but it looks like we're all good to go. I actually quite like this map. This is one of my preferred crashed UFOs.
Just north of the crash site. Strike 1 is in position to engage.
Just trying to orient myself.
We'll monitor those readings from here.
Try and find the corner of the
Strike 1 is
map.
authorized to assault the alien craft.
Okay. Come back this way. I just want to make sure I'm heading off in the right direction. Alright, so we're in the back left corner. I think we just want to sort of move forward, basically. Yeah, we'll just kind of slowly advance in this direction to start with. This map I may move towards Meld if I'm able to hear it. There's only probably going to be a couple of pods that we face other than the outsider, and so as a result, this is the kind of map where you can move a little more aggressively towards the Meld.
I'm rolling.
Especially since there's not going to be any real close quarters fighting or anything like that, and there's much less chance of stumbling into multiple pods at the same time since the map is so relative to the number of pods so large. At least that's my hope anyway. That said, firefights on this type of map can be very tricky. I'm going to keep to the high ground for the moment. And that is because, unlike in the urban block type maps we've been fighting in until now, there's no real safe, we can't have close range firefights. Like we can't, keep ourselves out of line of sight and then toggle a pod around a corner or drop down on them from the rooftops. On a map like this, we're going to encounter them probably at distance. And since we don't have suppression, we may not be in range to, for example, throw flashbangs. Alright, here I'm just going to move forward a very small amount since we've actually heard the... we've actually heard the alien pod nearby, and here, in the same way that we kind of we're trying to handle things in the very first mission, we really don't want to encounter the sectoid pod on our turn. We want them to stumble into our overwatch. Because, you know, if we stumble into them this turn, you know, we're going to be so far away, we may not be in range of grenades, so if we find them, we're likely going to be falling back. Now, I can see the meld in the fog of war here, and this is quite a commanding position, so I'm going to start moving up towards it. Fairly aggressively, actually.
Visual on the goods.
Okay, we've got the meld sighted.
Heading for that location.
I'm actually even tempted to dash towards it. The only problem, of course, is that we could potentially toggle another pod on this side, but it seems reasonably unlikely, and I am a little interested in getting away from that pod, so no, you know what? I think we'll be able to get to the meld in time anyway, so I'm going to take things slow.
Understood. Moving out. Roger. Track.
Oops. That troop didn't go where I wanted them to. Just dash them forward a little closer. I want to keep my squad as close together as I can.
You hear that?
Okay. So far I haven't heard the specific sound that drones make, which is very good. I would much rather face sectoids than drones, I think. Alright. So, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 tiles. Alright. 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. Okay, I think if we just move to this tile here, we should be in range of the meld. And indeed we are, so that we can grab it next turn.
Moving.
Heading there now.
That's affirmative.
On my
Okay.
way.
Excellent.
Got my eyes on.
So what I think we'll do is, if we can secure this meld, which will I think be the first canister we've actually grabbed, let's hope we don't encounter a pod. And we don't. That's very good. Now we can probably start moving slowly towards the sectoids. Not this turn, but
Moving to position.
next turn perhaps.
Headed there now.
So what I'm going to do is just array everyone up here, because this is actually a position from which I'd be quite happy for the sectoids to stumble into us, because we've got the high ground. There's actually some full cover up here as well. So it's a really nice spot.
What the hell was that?
Okay, so it looks like we've got a sense of where the two pods are now. Seems like there's one pod to our right, maybe in the UFO, and another in this direction. We absolutely want to encounter the pod to our left first. So I'm going to move everyone in that direction accordingly.
I'm on it, Commander. J'y vais.
Good to go.
Yes, I'll take care of it.
And we'll just, from now on, very slowly inch towards it. There was some more meld on the map, but I think it's a bit risky to push any closer to the UFO, especially because we just do not want to risk toggling the outsider or, you know, getting pinned between two different pods. Okay. Tempted to make a slightly larger move here.
Hostile spotted.
Alright, and there's the sectoids, and they have a drone. Not only that, but they have a drone that we are not in range of. We didn't have line of sight on it, which is more than a bit concerning. So I think the thing to do at this juncture is actually to fall back. And I'm actually confident of falling in this direction fairly aggressively.
I'm on it, Commander.
Because... Oh, I was going to say it's unlikely we'll toggle another pod, but we did. Which is really quite bad. That troop is probably going to die unless we can shoot a lot of these drones. Okay, this is really my first very big mistake in the campaign. And I was reasonably confident that we had a pod here and a pod to our right, but it may be that we had a third pod. Alright. We need to start hitting these drones. Basically, I'm going to just use my full squad to shoot at that drone there if I can.
Okay.
Alright, looks like there's range from... Nope, not quite in range from there. What about from here? Yes.
J'y vais tout de suite.
Okay. This is not looking good for our rookie over there.
C'est vraiment n'importe quoi.
Alright. It might be possible for us to get a flashbang on the sectoids from here. No, it doesn't look like it. Alright, I'm just going to hunker down with my scout, and then next turn hopefully his shotgun can be used against the drones. Normally when I'm fighting drones, I prefer to fall back and steady aim. But in this instance, that's really not an option. We need to try and kill those drones if at all possible, so I'm going to Overwatch. But, you know, these are going to be like 20% to hit shots, I think. There's usually a 15 point reduction to aim on Overwatch, and against a flying target, yeah, our odds are not great.
Be the hell out of here.
The sectoid's suppressing us, that's actually not too bad. Okay, one of the drones just decided to blow itself up for no apparent reason. Well, that worked out really well for us. Let's see if Anderson can hit this extremely low shot. No. Let's just hope he's not... our troop down there isn't going to get flanked. And it looks like they are. Okay. Now we just pray that she doesn't die. But with 2 drones at point blank range, it's almost certain that her fate is sealed. Let's see. Okay, this drone doesn't have a flank. Well, that's good at least. But I think this shot will be a flank as well. And indeed it is. Oh dear. Okay, our first loss of the campaign, and we're in really quite a bad spot. We have a few options here. One thing we can do is use a shotgun at point blank range, but that will rely on us being able to hit these other drones. My next question is whether we have a flashbang that might be in range of some of them. Sorry, a grenade. And indeed we do have an AP grenade that can hit at least this drone. And I feel like we could actually hit the other one too. But it would necessitate moving into a position like this, which I really don't like, because we might be flanked from over there. So I think here I'm just going to throw an AP grenade. Hope it sticks. Yeah, we're in a real pickle here because this troop is going to get flanked by the drones. So we just absolutely must kill them. And in fact, it almost makes me want to rush the drones. You know, but the problem is we have to kill all 3 in one turn. That's not necessarily very likely. Let's see what kind of a shot we have on them. Okay, we might be able to hit that one with our scout at the back if we can kill the other 2. This is really not good. Okay. I think I've come up with a plan. I may use a smoke grenade. Although I should probably have checked if we had one available. Okay, it looked like... yeah, that looks like a pretty solid grenade. Hopefully that kills one drone and injures the other one. Alright. So... let's see. So we can move to this position and shoot that that drone there if we can just kill the one on the right. Just continue. Let's see what kind of a shot do we have on that one now. 40%. Do we have an AP grenade from here? I probably should have used this troop to AP grenade the other drone. That was a mistake. It's also, you know, I'm not sure that this drone, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I wish I'd counted the tiles, may not be able to flank us. Okay. I'll take a shot from here on this drone. And that was some clutch shooting from our rookie. Okay. And then at this point, we just hope that our scout is able to kill the drone. And they do. Okay. And then we need to overwatch here. And I think we should actually be safe from a flank on that side. Because of these two rocks blocking line of sight in that direction. But let's see. Yes, it looks like we're not being flanked, so that is very good.
Requesting immediate assistance.
Okay. So now we can actually start moving our scout up
Getting it done.
towards the sectoids. I'll probably hunker him down in this cover. And then next turn we'll get a close range shotgun shot. This troop has more health, so I'll probably overwatch with them. Wait, are they flanked? Alright, they're not suppressed. So we can move up and apply suppression from here, or possibly even use a grenade. Okay. This grenade may well kill the sectoid, and at this point I'm interested in just taking as few shots as possible. Alright, 1 damage, that was quite pitiful. That means we're probably going to have to grenade from that position. Alright, we'll... I'm just seeing here. We need to apply... Yeah, we're going to need to... I'm just thinking. There isn't really any cover that this sectoid is going to be... Well, I might be able to get to down here. Yeah, I'm not going to risk us getting flanked, so... I will overwatch from that position.
Affirmative.
Overwatch from here.
Roger that. Scanning.
And let's see what happens. Okay, that sectoid had to reload. Now we just need to survive this shot. Okay, and then we're in a much better position. Alright.
Moving to position.
We move up to the full cover. Shoot this sectoid. And unfortunately miss.
Damn it. Enemy is still alive.
Can we actually get a flank? This could be a flank, but then we're very much open to a flank from that sectoid down there, and that's not a risk I'm willing to take. I'm simply going to overwatch and pin that sectoid. And then what we, you know, on the one hand I would very much like to start moving up on the flank of that sectoid there. But we did hear something over there. It's possible that it was just the outsider. But that's not something I really want to rely upon.
Heading to that location.
I think I will move in this direction here. Oops. Let's see. So we can see both of them. And I think we're just about out of range of a flank. Well... I think our troop with the smoke grenade was the one who died, unfortunately. Okay, I think actually, let's see, we have the concern here is being flanked from this position. Does seem possible, in which case I've really done something rather foolish here. I think my best bet is actually simply to use these troops to take shots on the sectoid in the flanking position. And then I'll, failing that, I'll use an overwatch. Okay. And we have to apply another overwatch on this sectoid, I think.
They're backing up! Advance!
Okay, we just have to survive this shot.
Whoa!
I really shouldn't have moved to that position. That was a bit of a mistake. Okay. Do we have a flank from here? We do.
I'm on it,
Alright. Just see if this troop has a kill yet. They do not. And we'll have a close range shot.
Kill confirmed.
By the way, that little noise that we heard in the alien's turn was indeed the sound of a drone.
I'm on the move.
Which I think validates my the care I was taking before, actually, in attempting to ensure that we didn't spot a pod on our right.
I'm ready, boss.
All power attack. Ready to rock. Back online.
Alright. Let's see if we can hear where the remaining pod is. Interesting that we still have meld in that direction. It's probably going to expire. I'm tempted to make a move for it. We'll want to breach the outsider through that doorway anyway.
Affirmative. I've got a visual.
And there are the drones. Okay. We've got 3 of them. Don't think they're quite going to flank us from there, although it's possible. And I think the safest thing I can probably do is fall back into this full cover. And the same goes for back here.
I'm on it, Commander.
Okay, basically we want to take a whole bunch of full cover.
5 sur 5.
And ideally full cover positions that are not going to be flanked next turn either. And I'm steadying our weapons because... actually, I wish I had moved the shotgunner a little closer, but... I'm studying our weapons instead of overwatching, and this is because, you know, 25% shots to hit. Ooh, that's really not great. You know, are really just a bit too low to be reliable. So you steady aim, and then, you know, hope to make your shots the following turn. Okay. Ooh. Anderson doing some good dodging there. Let's see if we can... Alright, we want to focus on this drone. Actually, I just realized I probably should have shot for the other one, because my shotgun might have been in range of that. Okay.
That is not good.
Alright. So what we want to do now... Let's see. We want to now fall our troops back once again. Ideally completely out of range of the drones. They're still going to see us here, and probably even there too. Yep. think moving this way and then hunkering down is my best bet. And then, yeah, from what I'll do is actually place my scout there as well. Okay. Let's see. Just trying to find one more safe position to move this troop to. Actually, well, I was going to say we might be in range of them, but that's unlikely. I'll just move closer with this troop, and then they may be able to move in and throw an AP grenade next turn. Okay, interesting. The drones are moving towards our other troops now. Oh, I'm quite happy for them to take 1% shots. Yeah, one of the main reasons drones are so dangerous in the early game is that, as well as being harder to hit because, you know, by virtue of their elevation bonuses and impossible to flank, the other major problem with them is that they have damage resistance that's given to them, which makes, especially weapons like carbines, extremely unreliable against the drones. They've taken quite good positions here. You know, they're moving to flank our other troops. I can't really move in on them very safely. You know, my shotgun's not close enough to be viable at that range. And so I think what I want to do is actually fall all of my troops back in the same direction. Okay.
Location confirmed. Roger that. On the
And then
move.
what we'll hope to do you know, with any luck the drones will actually be forced to move towards us. And then we can hit them. Okay. So, now I think we can count on our shotgun on that drone there, so we want to take the one that's slightly further away first. Let's see if we can hit it.
Oh no! Copy.
Can we use grenades? The other thing is we want to make sure, if possible, that we save I was going to say at least one AP grenade for for the outsider. That's not necessarily something we can rely on either. We can actually get close and blow that up. So, but the AP grenade offers guaranteed damage. 78 is pretty good here too, though. But if it misses, we're really screwed. Alright, this one has to go, I think. Let's see if that does the job. Alright. Now I'm feeling a bit better about our chances.
Heading to that location.
Probably should have shot with the rookies first, but
And gone.
didn't really feel like messing around at that point. Okay, let's use a medkit on our
Heading to that location.
injured troop here.
Easy now, soldier.
The one unfortunate thing is that we are now out of AP grenades to use against the outsider, which could make killing it a little bit tricky. We do have 2 flashbangs, which is good. But, you know, one thing we cannot rely on is
Roger. Tracking.
we can't rely on being able to just kill it with the shotgun. We're going to have to use a, probably have 2 troops flanking it. Okay, I'm able to move up with reasonable degree of impunity now. It's, I'd be shocked if there was another pod on the map.
I don't think we're alone out here. Affirmative.
The one good thing is that
Okay, boss.
we can at least
Position confirmed. Rolling.
approach through this door here and have a reasonably safe breach against the outsider.
Got it covered. On y va.
I'm not going to worry about rushing too much, especially since the meld has already expired. Okay. So I think our scout should now be able
Good to
to
go.
move right down in front of...
To withstand an impact like that, at such a velocity, the materials used in that vessel's hull must be at least an
Just inch
order of
everybody
magnitude
forward.
beyond any element we know of.
Will do.
As you wish.
J'y vais.
There we go.
Headed there now. Affirmative. Covering
Alright,
now.
let's get everybody in position. What we'll do is have 2 troops with their aim steadied on either side of the door, and then everyone else in positions to just move in through it.
Position
And
confirmed.
normally I would step back so that the troops could let's see, we want our troops with the best aim on either side of the door.
On my way.
Okay,
Je suis parti.
that will probably do, but because we're all clustered together, the likelihood is that the outsider actually just runs right at us, I think. And if we need to, we can just sort of take cover, use a flashbang, get towards, and then kind of inch towards it, pin it with Overwatch. Let's see how this goes.
Our readings can't be right.
Okay,
If they were,
now
that's a being.
this has worked out
of
well
most
because
pure
by positioning our
energy.
troops right in front of the door, we now are able to actually move into very safe flanking positions. So what I will actually do, let's just see, has everyone gotten a promotion? Okay, I have 1 troop who's missing a promotion. That said, they have so much experience that I think just our squad killing this outsider will lead to the promotion. And this troop is very close to a promotion as well, and early in the game you want to try and level up 1 or 2 troops as aggressively as you can. So I'm actually going to take this kill with my scout in the hope that they are actually able to get that promotion. I think I might. Yeah, that should be a kill from the scout here. Let's see. Yes. Okay, so what I'm hoping for is that the scout also gets a promotion, as well as everyone else, or at least is very close to it. Quick moment of silence for Marie Phillips, our first casualty. Alright, Anytan didn't quite get to his promotion, and Duffy's just offered as well. Thankfully the VR training mod should get them both up to a promotion, probably before they next go out on a mission anyway. Well, sell the damaged goods here. The good news is that gets us enough resources to build our satellite uplink,
Work crews are on their way to
begin excavation,
I'll send word when the new facility is operational.
and you'll note now that we only have 1 piece of power remaining. We've got enough to build an excess lift to here, but not any further down. And so this means we are actually going to have to build power on this level. So I think what I will actually do, is probably just put power here, build a workshop block like this in this corner, and then I can build an officer training school in this space. This can be an alien jail. This can be the lab block. So we'll kind of make this column just the column for random one-off buildings, and then in the long term we can always destroy this power spot if we need to make room for something like the Gollop chamber, and we'll build a power brick here with our satellites in this area. It's not ideal, but ideally you'd like all your power to be in an adjacency, but we are forced to build power somewhere in this space. If the steam vents had been just here, I mean that would have been quite nice, but you can only make do with what you have. Alright, just make sure there's nothing else that needs to happen. Have a look in the hangar. This is good. One of our interceptors will be ready shortly. Let's visit the memorial. Murray Phillips on Operation Cold Apollo. Death to one of the evil drones. Alright. Let's spin the hologlobe. We have our first motion tracker built. I wonder if that motion tracker would have actually saved our lives there. I possibly should have waited to see if it was ready. I want to check something. Ah, yes. Okay. Every now and then you get requests for satellite transfer. A dream would be to get one over one of the other two African nations, but that's probably not going to happen. Okay, the US is withdrawn from the Council. This is a pretty significant development. If you'll remember, back in the first mission I discussed that my plan was to put our two satellites up over Africa, which is going to happen, and then take South America, and then head for the United States and the rest of Canada and Mexico. The aliens taking the US really complicates things. North America is great because its continent bonus provides a reduction in the cost of aircraft and aircraft weapons. And what I may consider doing is actually taking South America next month. That's going to be a given. And then I'll have to decide between either putting satellites up in Europe or Asia, probably in Asia because of the Foundry bonus, which is a bit better than the bonus given by Europe. But the other option will be to, so we've got satellite uplink. One uplink will give us these two. A satellite nexus over North America would allow us to put 3 satellites up in one go and immediately launch an assault on the base in the US. So I actually think I may try and do this, depending on how things develop elsewhere.
Guess we should enjoy it while it lasts.
Excavation complete.
Okay, I'm going to continue excavating so as to make room for our first workshop and repair bay. Especially the repair bay will need to be built soon. And that's one reason actually why we should
Commander,
probably consider building a motion tracker on the conclusion of this mission. I notice we're on a roadway, but it is only a light abduction. Normally I would consider bringing an LMG or a sniper, but with a light abduction and it still being relatively early in the month, I think we're still probably going to be facing just sectoids and drones. So this early on, I think we want to still just send out all 6 rookies. This is an opportunity to get another 6 promotions. A little bit, with each successive mission, this strategy gets more and more risky. Sometimes towards the end of the month, you can actually get floaters or thin men showing up. Although I can't remember if that happens in Classic. It certainly does happen on Impossible. The last campaign I was playing around with ended quite badly with a mission that was exclusively thin men and floaters right before the end of the first month on Iron Man Impossible. So yeah, let's hope nothing like that happens. Okay, we're going to want somebody to do some scouting. This trooper has some pretty nice stats to be, perhaps an assault. Give them a motion tracker. giving a troop an SMG is a consideration, especially for grabbing meld and the like, but on a roadway there's very little chance for flanks, so I'd rather give this troop with very poor aim a carbine, so they've got a chance of hitting stuff, and will do a little bit more damage than the SMG would. Have we got any more troops with 72 aim? We do indeed. Chatterjee. Some pretty nice stats there. Give her probably the medkit plus an AP grenade. Okay. Let's see. Who else can we bring along? This trooper has very nice, well-rounded stats. Probably also a good choice to take a medkit. Let's look for maybe Rocketeer candidates here. Troops with good mobility, good aim. There's one. There's another. I have a pretty decent set of stats on our rookies, I have to say. Okay, where is that troop with there we are. Afolabi. Give her an alloy plate. Okay, note that Duffy is going to get a promotion in one day thanks to the VR training mod that we have running. Okay. This troop has some pretty nice stats. And probably a good candidate to carry a smoke grenade. Smoke grenades are really helpful on roadways. Often you have to make do with subpar cover on them. And then this troop could actually make a decent decent capture engineer. I think engineers get a little bit more health than scouts do. Well, that is two troops with very mediocre aim. And I feel like on a roadway where drones are a bigger threat, I actually want to privilege bringing some troops with good aim. Yeah, maybe someone like Limos. Because, this is, especially if we toggle the drones early and we don't have much space to fall back into, right? A situation like that could be really, really deadly. I'm not going to bother bringing HE grenades because it's unlikely that we'll actually be able to blow up cover anyway. We've got 2 medkits, AP grenade on everybody, as well as a motion tracker and smoke. That looks quite good to me. So let's leave it there. Hope you've enjoyed the video once again. May Marie Phillips rest in peace, and let's hope that we have a safer mission on this abduction. Thanks for watching.